lovelies! This month's theme on EGL is Ita to Lolita, and that actually made me really excited because I've been planning to make this exact same video for a year or something, and so the theme is the perfect time. It's the same thing I wanted to already do. So I got my first Lolita dress 8 years ago, Lolita dress, and so I've been into this fashion for a really long time, and back when I first got into the fashion, it was much more obscure than it is now. It's certainly not mainstream by any means, but it was way different back then. I really don't think people who have gotten into Lolita fashion in the past few years understand how good they really have it. When I got into Lolita fashion, none of the brands shipped overseas. Not a single one of them shipped overseas. And that wasn't the only problem. We also did not have off-brands and indie brands that were good quality. They didn't exist. When I got into Lolita fashion, In the Starlight opened around that same time, and a few of their earlier pieces were questionable, but they became the one nice place to go get your Lolita clothes. And other than that, we didn't have a lot of options. There was Rakuen. Their dresses were even more questionable than they currently are, and they were about the same price. Not being able to have brand name clothing without using a shopping service didn't just affect our access to brand, it affected our understanding of the fashion. Everyone, basically, who was into the fashion, almost everyone, was an Ita. That's how I feel. We didn't understand what a quality Lolita dress was supposed to look like, and if you see girls who do this theme and they've been into Lolita for a long time, that is where you will truly find some good stuff that's fun to look at. We didn't have websites like lolitafashion.org, we didn't have Hello Lace, we only had the Lolita handbook on LiveJournal, and that's still available to look at. So I don't have pictures of some of my outfits, including some of the early ones I would like to show you, but today what I want to do is I want to show you a kind of progression video with pictures of my first Lolita outfits and kind of coming up into today, and hopefully show you my progression from a baby Ita into a hopefully super cute Lolita. So let's go! Please ignore me on the right for a minute because my first Lolita outfit is actually the one the girl on the left is wearing. I never got a picture of myself in my first outfit, but I did let my friend borrow it for a convention, and several congoers took our picture. The dress was from Bodyline and bought through Cosmates. The lace was just as scratchy as it looks, and the cheap velvet ribbon was a lot worse than it looks in the picture. Worst of all, I wore it exactly as it's worn in the picture, with the cherry print canvas flats with the elastic strap. Now we have me on the right in my second Lolita outfit. I did have shoes, I'd just taken them off to rest when someone asked for our picture. If you can see past the cheap Raschel lace, the jumper skirt was a lot better, but my coordinate was definitely not. This jumper was from Rakuen, and I wore it with the free petticoat it came with, which wasn't much of a petticoat at all. I'm pretty sure that I was supposed to trim the ribbon on the headdress, but I was always scared to and never got around to doing it. Here's me in the same dress, but worn a little better. I wore a knit peasant top under it and put a little ribbon garter on my arm, which is interesting. I liked experimenting with garters in high school. Don't know why. I still didn't have a proper petticoat, but I got some socks with a bunch of cheap lace on them, and you can see my chunky old school Mary Janes here. This was my third outfit, which would have looked a lot nicer if I'd known how to measure myself when I bought the skirt. The skirt was from In the Starlight, and it was actually nice, but I had to wear it on my hips because it was too short and too big in the waist. It had a matching headband, which was a velvet ribbon with a black gingham ruffle on either side, but I stopped wearing it after the kids at my school thought I was wearing a French maid uniform, because it did look like a maid headdress. You can see the socks and chunky shoes better here. For my 16th birthday, I got my first brand name Lolita piece, this Baby the Starshine Bright jumper skirt. Having such a high-quality Lolita piece to look at up close and touch and wear gave me a much better understanding of what Lolita was supposed to be, and I immediately retired the first dress. Unfortunately, it was considerably too big for me at this point, but I loved it and wore it often. I bought my baby the Starshine Bright Strawberry Poodle Parasol secondhand on the EGL.com sales, and I still have both items even if I rarely use the parasol anymore. And at my first meetup, I'm back to the pink jumper skirt. I think I chose this outfit because it was thinner and cooler and we were going to Busch Gardens in the middle of the summer. I used my baby the Starshine Bright plastic shopping bag as a purse because I didn't have one. And I borrowed a better petticoat from a friend, but unfortunately it was very long and very bright. I placed an Anna House order with a friend of mine to get several more outfits, some shoes, and another crappy petticoat that was useful for layering. The sleeves and the droopy detachable bows were unappealing, and I couldn't be bothered to pick up an iron, but otherwise this was a pretty nice dress, and I did improve it later. For Christmas, my parents got me what is still my favorite piece, my Alice in her Black Cat skirt with a matching tote bag. I like to wear it with this plain pinstripe blouse I found at a department store because I guess I thought the outfit was more creative that way. I still think this is a really neat picture, even though the outfit wasn't anything special. I improved on the Anna House one piece by ditching the sleeves, cutting the cheap satin ribbon out, and sewing the detachable bows onto the dress so that they wouldn't droop. I gave myself a Hime cut, and I painted my big chunky shoes pink since I'd gotten a nice pair of white Mary Janes with the Anna House order. I saved up and bought myself my third brand piece, the Charmy Kitty skirt designed by Nana Kitade. I was determined to make a sweet punk Lolita outfit like Nana Kitade, but that's pretty much the most difficult possible thing to pull off in Lolita fashion, and as you can see, I did a bad job. I think the worst part of this was my choice in socks. I still have the skirt, but I can never put together the perfect coordinate for it, I feel like. It's really difficult. It took 4 months to get to me for no good reason, but at the beginning of the year I got my very first Lolita coat from Fan Plus Friend. It wasn't very warm and it was a little small on me, but I wore it to school every day at risk of freezing to death because I loved it so much. Confused teenage boys asked me, "Why are you wearing the same dress every day? That's gross." And I said, "It's a coat." This is a picture of my experimenting with a skirt that I made myself. I made the bow too. The bow is nice, but the side seams on the skirt are just wrong, and they make the skirt look lumpy. Eventually I'll fix the skirt so I can wear it, but I won't really have enough room for a proper petticoat, so I'll probably just wear it casually and not call it Lolita. For now it's somewhere in my sewing pile still. The print has cameos and antique jewelry on it. In my senior year of high school, I was featured in some kind of fashion page in my yearbook. I wasn't told in advance that my picture was going to be taken for this, but I hope that if I was, I would have looked a little nicer for it. I was definitely having a bad hair day, but the dress wasn't shiny like it looks in the picture, and other than being a bit short, it was pretty nice. It was from Anna House. This was one of my senior pictures in which I'm still trying to figure out how to coordinate this Charmy Kitty skirt and still trying to make Sweet Punk Lolita a thing. I think my hair looks really funny here. I like to look at that. This was another one of my senior photos, and I actually have a pretty good, if bland, coordinate here. The blouse and the bow are from Anna House, and obviously the skirt is from Baby the Starshine Bright. It's really disappointing how overexposed this photo is, and I was especially disappointed at the time it was taken. I added some lace to a wicker purse I found at the thrift store and used an antique doily and some ribbon to make a canotier to match my antique white jumper skirt. I wore it with a Forever 21 cardigan that had puff sleeves and pearls all over it, and it looked pretty nice. I feel like this was one of my first coordinates that wasn't Ita and wasn't super bland at the same time. I tried making Lolita clothes again, except this time I really did a good job. I made this skirt and hair bow, and I still like them and wear them today. They've stood the test of the washing machine in many wears, and they're pretty simple, but I really think they're cute. I mostly only have time to alter or repair clothes here and there, but someday I want to make more Lolita clothing for myself. Around New Year's I got my first ever Happy Pack, which was a really great experience for me. I didn't keep the sock to the purse, but this gave me a much better appreciation for brand blouses and accessories, and inspired me to want to start buying them instead of just main pieces as I had been doing before. I continue trying to figure out how to coordinate this Charmy Kitty skirt, but this is definitely the best so far. It's very casual, but I feel like it's hard to make this skirt work any way other than casually. The earrings, necklace, bracelet, skirt, and socks all have the same dark, bright pink, so I feel like this outfit is a lot more balanced. This is my boyfriend and I at a Christmas party hosted by one of the other Lolita in my local community. As my local Lolita community increased exponentially in size, I had a lot more inspiration to dress better and more events to dress up for. I love my local Lolita community and I don't know what I'd do without them. I took this picture to enter an outfit contest for Lock Shop wigs. This is one of my more experimental and inexpensive outfits, so I'm proud of it for that reason. The blouse is from Forever 21, the floral bird hairpiece was a gift from a friend, the shoes I found at a thrift store, and the socks and flower hair clips were off-brand. The jewelry is real ivory and was my grandmother's. I got myself a coat from Baby the Starshine Bright and was disappointed to find out that it still wasn't very warm, just like my FanPlus friend one. But ecstatic to find out that it has huge pockets. I can fit my entire Canon camera into one of these pockets. The detachable capelet is gorgeous, but kind of a hassle at the same time. I placed a large tap-out order to build up my Lolita wardrobe and bought La Robe de Cinderella from Chess Story. I love this dress and especially the sleeves so much. It doesn't take much thought to coordinate, but it looks really beautiful. Usually my Lolita outfits are relatively simple, and so I feel that having something a little more over the top like this added some diversity to my Lolita wardrobe. I got these brown shoes and the previous pink ones from Bodyline because I really needed some fresh shoes. Now that might not seem like a big deal, but 2 new pairs of nice shoes really made my wardrobe feel so much more complete. I got this skirt secondhand for a bargain. At this point, I really don't order directly from brands anymore because the secondhand market has become so big and so available that I don't feel any need to. I don't miss the old days of brand being barely available. Recently, I've been trying to build on my wardrobe and mix up my old outfits in new ways. I used to wear my Alice in her black cat skirt with just pink and white accessories, but recently I tried highlighting the brown cat in the print by wearing brown Mary Janes and a blouse with brown embroidery. The blouse also matches because it's also Alice themed. This outfit really isn't that special, but I thought I should include one of my very most recent outfits to close the video. This picture was taken just a few weeks ago when Elise and I went out to research a possible venue for the upcoming Winter International Lolita Day Tea Party we're planning. My socks have roses and little rabbits and squirrels on them, and they're one of my favorite pairs. I hope you enjoyed the video and got a laugh out of some of my earlier outfits. I know I did.